We got bills due, and you trying to figure out what I'm going to do, how I gotta hustle, how I gotta make this. Let me tell you something right now. If you serving God in any type of ministry area and you still selling drugs, there's a problem. There's a problem because the God delivered you from those things. The fact that you finding that, using that to be a way to solve a problem, like can God not do it for you? Is God not available to do it for you? Is He not available to show up for you? I'm confused. Hey y'all, it's your little bit sis CJ Renee. We're back with another episode of 31 and Thriving, y'all. I'm so excited. Yo, every time I look at my channel, I'm seeing people commenting, I'm seeing likes, I'm seeing viewers I've never seen before, and new subscribers, and I'm really thankful for the support. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea, because when I first started out, I wasn't sure, like if I should be doing this. Like, am I stepping out on faith here? Is this really what God has for me? I wasn't sure, but a lot of people in my life kept pushing me and telling me this is what God has for me. I kept having moments when I was sharing my story over and over again to people, and I'm like, I see you, God. I hear you. You want me to share my story. You want me to share my journey. This is my time. This is my season, and this is how I'm supposed to be doing it. And so just to know that I'm on my right path, I'm doing what God has called me to do. I'm living in my purpose. I'm walking through life, thriving in every possible way, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can be a blessing to those of you who are watching, learning, and growing from this channel. We are a team, we are a family, and we're doing this together. I just wanted to give you my spiel, you know. All right, so today I really want to talk about, or I want to paint a picture for you. Recently I was triggered by a thought, and the thought came from a song. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Oh Mama. It goes, Oh Mama, you're always on time. You can do no wrong. Oh Mama, you leave the 99 always for the one. All right. Anyway, if you haven't heard the song, go listen to the song on YouTube. It's a great song. But this is a song that I listened to around the time I got into a car accident and I was ending my relationship with my previous boyfriend before my singleness today. And it was a song I listened to keep my mind at peace, to keep my fears at bay, and to help me process and work through what it was I was going through at the time. And with that in mind, let's put a pin in that. I want to paint you the picture of a parent and a child. Some of you may not be parents, some of you may be aunties, uncles, or you may have a little one you just love. So imagine you and that person, you and that baby. Imagine the relationship you have with them, right? If you were to see them, I don't know, making a wrong step and falling, or running into a door by accident and falling, is your initial response to always jump up and run to carry them and oh baby them to death and like, oh, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be no, because at some point in that child's life, you want them to experience pain, be able to dust themselves off, be strong because of it, and keep moving forward. If you coddle them every time, they're going to make every single ouchie, ooey, bad, bad, whatever, boo boo, whatever. They're going to make every little thing that happens to them a major thing. It's never going to be, all right, this happened. Let me dust myself off and keep going. So, with that thought process, I want you to think about how God sees us as His children. There are times that He allows us to go through things that hurt tremendously, that may also cause a traumatic response. Because in your mind, you're thinking, why would this happen to me? How could this happen to me? Why would I? And it's not all that God is allowing these things to happen, but some of the decisions that we made to put ourselves in these situations. And God allows us to go through those situations and feel the full brunt of it. Not because he hates us, not because he doesn't love us, not because he wants us to suffer, right? But the idea behind how much God loves us has a lot to do with how he cares for us and wants us to learn things, how he wants us to be able to retain information. And the more knowledge you have, the more wisdom you have, right? And so he allows us to experience things that in unnatural circumstances without God would have broken us, would have really literally put us in the ground, right? But because God is there, he's covering us and he's keeping us and he's making sure that he guides us through this path of healing and purpose, that we are not going to fall off. We're not going to be broken under the pain of it all. We're not going to fall flat on our face. He's going to allow us to experience the pain and all of its painfulness, but he's going to find his best people, best situations to build us back up, for us to see how good he is, to show us how much he loves us. So I'm going to go back into the situation. So around this time, I had gotten into a car accident. And it was a pretty bad car accident because I was rushing to work. And there was a car in front of me who was just driving so slow. Long story short, I tried to cut in front of the car that was in front of me. It was a two-way street, or one-way street, one way going, one way coming, right? And I went into oncoming traffic. And in this particular area, you can do that. It has the dotted lines. But I waited. And as soon as I saw the lines start, separating, I tried to go over into the oncoming traffic. But there was a car. It was a far off. But clearly they started speeding when they saw me in their lane, which is unnatural in any situation. But this particular day, this guy felt like he wanted to play chicken with me. I don't know if somebody pissed him off earlier that morning, because it had to be like 7:30 in the morning. I don't know who pissed him off so early in the morning where he had to be driving like he was a bat out of hell. I don't know what was going on with dude. But he meant that he was gonna run me off that road. And he did. And I went back into the lane that I was originally in, and I got behind the car that was in front of me. But that car, in fear for some reason, stopped short. Stopped short. I mean, like completely short. And I did not hit their car. Thank God. I did not hit their car. But you know what happened? I was like, I don't know what foolishness is going on here. I'm clearing it again. So I tried to get, as soon as that car passed, I went back into that lane. And when I went back into that lane, I didn't realize how close I was. I should have backed up first and then pulled out. But I just was like, I don't got time for this. And I pulled out and I hit their car. So the front end on my right hand side was jacked up. It wasn't like a brutal car accident, but it was pretty bad. My car in the front was totaled. Basically, I was not able to drive it anywhere. And so therefore, it was a whole process. I had to get my car taken to the shop. The shop that originally had picked it up didn't want to release my car to me until insurance got into it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. How you gonna force me to use my insurance if I'm saying I'm paying out of pocket? They're like, well, we don't release insurance. We don't release to people unless insurance is, like, it was a whole thing. It was frustrating. And at that point, I just realized that at this moment, at this current moment, my mind was so flustered on what was going on with my car. I could not focus on anything else. Like, I needed God to actually step in. While that's going on, I'm reaching out to my boyfriend at the time, and I'm not getting a response. But I'm so focused on what's going on with my car and what I'm dealing with that I didn't really get a chance to like really sit and deal with that. As days go by, I still haven't heard anything. I'm seeing my messages all delivered, so I don't understand what's going on. Like, did you know 6 feet under? What happened? Like, you know, um, and at the time we were sharing location with each other, so I seen exactly where you are. You moving around, you out and about. You just not responding to me. Like, what's going on? Um, moving the story along. Um, so I'm sitting here, I'm hearing the numbers that they're talking about, how much I'm gonna be having to pay. They did they supposed to do like a investigation of like who's at fault. And obviously I was at fault. So now my insurance went through the roof. And I'm a first time driver as well. So it was a whole other thing. And I'm just like, God, please help me. Then on top of that, they're thinking, oh, we're not going to be able to give you your car back for another month. I'm like, a month? A month is insane. I don't have months. And okay, so my insurance does not cover car rental. How you gonna be insurance and not cover car rentals? Anyway, so they're saying they're not gonna have my car ready for a month, and I still have to pay out of pocket for this car rental. I'm barely making money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anybody else works for the government, but most of your money that you make goes into your pension. You're not really racking it up like that. And then they're taxing you. They're taxing you on all ends. Health insurance is ridiculous. Like, it was just like I was barely making enough to get by on what I was doing already. You know what I'm saying? So to be doing all this extra stuff and paying bills on top of it was just too much. It was too much. And I remember sitting in the car and I was playing that song, Oh Mema, and I'm listening to it. And while I'm listening to the music, I just started praying to God. And I'm telling God what's going on. And I'm asking God for him to intercede, not only with the car situation, but also with my boyfriend. Because from my understanding, I really truly thought that relationship was sent from God. I really truly thought that there was a level of confusion that was trying to attack my relationship because this is kingdom business, honey. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Um, but what I can say now that I see that happened then, that I'm realizing now, is that when I prayed to God about the car, first of all, God answered almost immediately. Like, they said it was supposed to be a month. I think by the week that they said it was supposed to be about a month for them to give me my car, they gave me my car that Friday. And the Friday that they gave me the car, I didn't have any more money to put down on the rental. So my rental, I would have to have gone at least a week without a car, and having people pick me up and drop me off. And I was not trying to do that again. I don't know if y'all know what it's like to live in the mountains, but it's not easy to get to and from places, and to be waiting around, waiting outside. Bears be walking around on a regular, like they belong here. I'm not trying to be outside. I'm not waiting for nobody to pick me up. I didn't want to deal with that. So I'm like, God, please, you understand the situation. God moved on my behalf, literally. It was like, I know we said it would be about a month, but your car is going to be ready on Friday. So you can pick it up on Friday. The lady's like, yeah, well, your car rental is going to be up by Friday. So are you going to make another payment? I'm like, no, and I will not. I could not believe how fast God came through for me, like within the week. And as far as the boyfriend concerned, things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And what God showed me today that I didn't realize before was that he's going to show up for you. God knows what you need. God knows what he wants for you. God knows the purpose and the plan that he has for your life. So I think when we're going through things, we expecting God to show up in the ways that we expect God to show up, right? Like, I expected God to not only take care of the car, but also to help my relationship get better. But it got worse. And I'm like, how is God listening to my prayer about the car, but he's not listening to my prayer about my relationship? How is that happening? There was something I was supposed to learn there, because I not so much pursued, because he pursued me, but I allowed that relationship to continue past the point that it was not supposed to go. I allowed that relationship to become as deep as it did, because God didn't never give me the okay on it. And I thought he did. I thought all the times that we, was able to meet my parents and everybody liked him and all, I thought those were him passing the green lights and God was giving him the okay, or giving me the okay. When in all reality, that's not what it was. He was just a decent guy that passed under the, detection. And he got away with a lot of things. But what I learned, not only from that moment, but from that relationship, was that there was a lot of things in me that I wasn't yet ready to deal with, that he shined a light on. If it wasn't for that relationship, I wouldn't even have known that existed. See how if you're catching what I'm saying, God would allow things to happen so that He can nurture you and and mold you and renew you and help you to be a person that you didn't even think you needed to be, to change things about you that you didn't even realize needed to be changed, to highlight things that you never even knew existed. He will allow you to bump into these situations. And what I love so much about God is that when He's shining a light on something, yes, in that moment, like today, I did cry in the moment because I'm like, God, why are you bringing this back to my memory? That was a really low moment for me because dealing with all the car stuff and the accident and knowing that I'm gonna have to be paying so much money for my insurance and then the boyfriend situation, like that was too much at that time for me. Like, why are you bringing this back up to me? And well, God is so great. God is so good because He wants you to not only hear Him the first time, but He likes to send confirmation of word. So after I finish having that moment with God, then I go on and I'm watching PMJ, Pastor Mike Jr., and he was talking about exactly what I'm saying, that healing and pain are used as catalysts. But if you're not mindful, if you're not paying attention, you can stay in that pain. And staying in the pain, that something that's supposed to be a momentary grief, a momentary pass through, will now become your permanent place of living. And I feel like a lot of us on this healing journey are finding ways to stay in our permanent place. He said, Pastor Mike Jr. is amazing. He's an amazing preacher. If y'all ever have time to watch him on YouTube, do so. He said that God will deliver you out of a situation, but the situation is still in you. And I'm thinking about how trauma responses stay well past the trauma. How um not only that, but how the pain stays way past the thing that we suffered. It stays and it stays, and we cultivate it and we nurture it and we keep it and we stay in it and we stick to it, and then we're trying to figure out why we're not growing the way we're supposed to be growing. And we doubt ourselves and we doubt our abilities and we doubt God, and it's all has to do with the fact that we're not really allowing ourselves to heal the way God wants us to heal. Those things happen. That was your past. What you were supposed to learn from it in that moment, did you learn? Let's start there. Did you learn what God wanted you to learn in that moment? Because God doesn't allow you to cry for no reason. He doesn't put you through pain for nothing. If you experience pain and it was your decision to go into those situations, He will still use those situations for His glory, to the good. So what is it that you were supposed to learn? What was it that you were supposed to pay attention to? What were you supposed to take away from such events? And then grow from that. Stop going back to, oh, this is why I don't like dealing with people, because every time I deal with people, they always let me down. Stop doing that. If God is a delivering God, if He's a healing God, if He's a way maker, if He is the God that's going to keep you and nurture you and protect you and guide you, why aren't you relying on Him more? We got bills due and you trying to figure out what I'm going to do, how I got to hustle, how I got to make this. Let me tell you something right now. If you serving God in any type of ministry area and you still selling drugs, there's a problem. There's a problem, because the God delivered you from those things. The fact that you finding that, using that to be a way to solve a problem, like can God not do it for you? Is God not available to do it for you? Is He not available to show up for you? I'm confused. I'm confused, people of God. I'm confused. We love to stick in our emotions. We like to stay in our problems, and we like to make excuses for what it is that we're dealing with and why it is that we're handling things the way we handle them. But the truth is, it's time to make a decision. It's time to make a decision. It's no longer about the trauma. It's no longer about past experience and past pain. It's about what decision are you willing to make today that's going to change your life for the rest of your life. And stick to that. Y'all, it's your little big sis, CJ Renee, and this has been an episode of 31 and Thriving. I love you guys. Bye. To ensure you don't miss an episode of 31 and Thriving, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to share. It's your little big sis, CJ Renee.